Sam remains a strong Category 4 hurricane at this current time on its approach to Bermuda. We have the latest from the National Hurricane Center right here. A tropical storm warning is still in effect for Bermuda right here. Just to reiterate, a tropical storm warning means tropical storm conditions are expected within 36 hours. As of 8... Oh, wait a minute. Gotta update this. Okay. Okay, it's been okay. We just updated this. Sorry, that was the 8. That was this 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time advisory. This is the 11 p.m. At 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the center of Hurricane Sam was located near latitude 25 degrees north, longitude 61.2 degrees west. Sam is moving north-northwest near 16 miles per hour, so its speed has increased. It was 14 miles per hour previously. Now it's 16, so it is increasing in speed. And this motion with a slight increase in forward speed is expected tonight. A turn towards the north is anticipated on Friday, and eastward motion is forecast to begin on Saturday. On the forecast track, the core of Sam will pass Bermuda early Saturday. Maximum sustained winds are still 145 miles per hour, so it's maintaining its intensity as it's approaching Bermuda, as it's moving further north. So that's actually pretty impressive, considering that around this time the conditions will get less favorable, less conducive to maintain the strength, and it will start weakening. But if you look at the satellite, it's doing very well when it comes to that. Like, look at the core of this hurricane right here. Like, this core has been holding it. The eye has been looking a lot more circular, and this thing has really improved in structure. I'll show you the true color zoomed out, and you can see how large that eye is compared to that hurricane. This kind of looks like a stronger version of Hurricane Larry at this point, for those of you in Bermuda. So yeah, this is a very impressive looking storm. It's a very impressive, strong hurricane. It's holding its own, even this far north. Like, that eye, it does not look like it has any problems. The core does not look like it has any problems at all. I mean, we did have a few close calls right here. We did have a few close calls and everything. Let me show you. Yeah, there was some... Hold on. I'll have to go back. Okay. Hold on a minute. Yeah, there was a close call right here, but it recovered itself very quickly. So that just proves how resilient this hurricane is right here. It's been maintaining and strengthening as it was moving further to the north. It's now 25 degrees to the north. After 30 degrees to the north, it's generally not a good environment for hurricanes to develop, mostly because of the cooler temperature, but also there's stronger winds at that point. So, yeah, this has been honestly a very impressive case study to look at. But yes, some fluctuations of intensity are expected during the next day or so, followed by gradual weakening. Sam is forecast to remain a major hurricane into Saturday, with additional weakening forecast later this weekend. Hurricane force winds are still 60 miles from the center, so no change. Tropical storm force winds 150 miles from the center, so once again, there's no change. There's no change in the pressure, still 938 millibars, which is pretty low. So yeah, we have the latest cone from the NHC right here. You can see where those hurricane and tropical storm force winds are at. It's expected to be a major hurricane all the way until Saturday, start weakening off, starting to weaken off by Saturday evening, and then expected to become a hurricane, expected to be a Cat 1 hurricane by 8 p.m. on Monday, and then a post-tropical cyclone by Tuesday. So that's the forecast track on this at the current time. So this is, we can also cross-check it with the tracks. It's still moving west-northwest. That turn is expected to begin very soon, and it's expected to go to the northeast at that time. So yeah, it's expected to move at that point. It's expected to move faster in speed. At 72 hours, the models are in general agreement, although there are a couple models that split off, some going further to the south, another going further to the north. So, yeah, this is something interesting. I'll keep a close eye on that. Next thing is the intensity. We have the latest from that, which all the models have it leveling off. There is one model that has it going up to 150. That's not happening especially considering how far north it is. I think, hell, it's impressive that it's basically just maintaining the strength it is right now. But now this is at going up to 150, unless it finds a very hot spot of water, it's not going to happen. And I can guarantee you there's no very hot spot of water near Bermuda. So yeah, after this, it's going to start weakening, going down to a Category 3. Some have it starting in 24 hours, but general agreement is in the next 36 hours it'll be a Category 3. General agreement is it'll be likely to be a Category 2, 48 to 60 hours out, according to these models. Some of the models maintain it as a Category 3 all the way a week out, which that's like for the CEM2, that's not going to happen. I can guarantee that. The AEMI, though, is an interesting case. It has it going at being basically a major hurricane strength for 5 days. Not going to happen once again. But another one, the EGR2, has it remaining a major hurricane 84 hours out, which, if that's the case, I'd be impressed, but that's, at the current time, that's the unlikely to happen. So, yeah, this has been a pretty impressive hurricane to watch. It's been maintaining its intensity. All the models had it weakening at this point. It's still maintaining its intensity. We'll have to see the next advisory. So, yeah, it's just this whole saga with Hurricane Sam. All the stuff time I've been watching this, it's been a very, like, in 2 words, I can describe it as resilient and impressive. It's resilient because even after its structure collapsed, kind of from 150 to 120 miles per hour, it still got back on its feet. It strengthened even more to a secondary peak of 145 miles per hour. That's an impressive feat for itself, and it's impressive because at the beginning of this, it rapidly intensified into a Cat 4 hurricane. It was spinning so fast on satellite imagery. That's how impressive that was, and it's even more impressive that this thing got back up and re-intensified to a strong Cat 4. So yeah, that's basically it for the intensity. We're going to go back to the satellite real quickly, show you what's going on. Sam's eye looks a lot better than it did. It's still going strong, and this is something I'll have to be watching for the next few hours, especially as Bermuda starts seeing those tropical storm force winds shortly in the next 24 hours. So if you're in Bermuda watching this, get your preparations done. Start making preparations if you haven't already, and just get them done as soon as you can. Tropical storm force winds are arriving tomorrow, so I'll be keeping a close eye on that. Now, before we go, we're going to go to the few key takeaways we have for tonight. First key takeaway is that this is still a powerful Category 4 hurricane with winds of 145 miles per hour. We're not at 140 yet. Let's hope we get there soon, because we need this hurricane to start weakening. That's the hope. But it's still impressive how it's been maintaining this intensity. It's still impressive how it got back up on its feet to attain a secondary peak of this strength. But that's the first key. That's part of the first key takeaway. There's no change in how far the winds extend out. There's no change in pressure. There's still a tropical storm warning for Bermuda, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Second key takeaway is that the cone has this starting to turn, shift towards the north, then the northeast on tomorrow. So it's going to go ahead and start doing that. We can confirm that with these tracks right here. It's going to continue its north-northwest track for another 12 hours, then turn towards the north. After 24 hours, it's going to start to turn towards the north-northeast, then by 48 hours to the northeast. So that's another thing I'll be watching very closely. Third key takeaway, all the models generally have this weakening below major hurricane status by 72 hours out. There are some that have keep it at major hurricane status, like these two. This right here, the CEM2, that's not going to happen. I can guarantee you that. It's not happening. AEMI has it attaining major hurricane status 5 days out. At that point, it's pretty unlikely basically not going to happen. For the GR2, though, like I said before, 84 hours out, it's going to have it as a major hurricane. Still, albeit it's going to weaken to a Cat 2 by that point. It would be something to watch, but that's unlikely to happen at this point. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. Final key takeaway, the structure of Sam is still very impressive. This is a resilient hurricane. This is still holding its own. It reminds me of hurricane. It's basically, if you're in Bermuda, this is going to be what it was like when Hurricane Larry hit your area. So be sure to watch out for that. I'll continue to keep an eye on Hurricane Sam. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more updates.